What?
Out in the neighborhood, man. We got a neighborhood in Houston, Texas, man. Let's get deeper. I think you need a Florida a little bit. All right. Don't look good. This got to be the worst hurricane out of town trip. Cause oh man, they stopped.
No.
I'll help them. Let me. Yesterday we did a Walgreens job, and we like, why is the dumpsters all jacked up? And found out it was a tornado there hours before we got there. Yeah, it gets crazy.
That guy's like,
But this gotta be the craziest trip.
Establish a second. And you can start whenever you want.
Okay. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm Mike Iskovitz here in the Weather Center. We are in coverage following a very scary-looking Hurricane Harvey. And what we're waiting for is the 1 p.m. update from the National Hurricane Center, where they'll give us an update on its position and its wind speeds and so forth. We'll get our next full report at 4 with the latest forecast track. But this is a wild one. We haven't really seen a hurricane like this in 9 years since Hurricane Ike. It's been a very long time. Now, I do want to say that Harvey is not really going to make a direct hit. Let me take you here. Let me show you this loop right here, because this is this beautiful new satellite that was launched into space at the end of last year. It's called the GOES 16, and it's bringing us the best imagery we've ever had from space of tropical storms and hurricanes. But this one is the scariest, the strongest one to come close to us since Ike 9 years ago, almost 9 years ago. Here's the thing. It is not expected to make a direct hit on us. So when we talk about it being a Category 2 and those 110 mile per hour winds, that really is very close to the center and just sort of on this north side of the eye wall. So where we are, our main concern is going to be these rain bands that actually are pretty nasty in some spots. So you could have 40, 50 mile per hour wind gusts and really heavy rain, because the storm's expected to move inland and stall. So we could see some areas, not every area, but some areas could pick up a ton of rain. So I wanted to do a Facebook Live. April, our esteemed producer, is behind the camera right now. So if anybody out there wants to yell at me or ask anything or whatever, now is your chance. So what's everybody saying, April?
So, well, a lot of people are asking. First, a lot of people said hello.
Hi.
And thank you for the coverage.
Thank you.
So they're glad about that. And then, this is an interesting. Somebody asked about cruise ships that are
Yes.
out.
There is one that was supposed to leave, was there one that was supposed to leave, I think, tomorrow? Somebody had actually, Rita asked me about that earlier in the week and said that she was trying to get in touch with Carnival through their social media to see what their plans were. I think they have a ship that is supposed to leave on Saturday, I think it was. Either way, I wouldn't want to be out there.
Yeah, no. Well, we'll check on it.
Yeah,
and we'll get
see.
some information, get it on fox26houston.com. So we have one person who says everybody's freaking out for nothing. I would not agree.
No, I mean, I think at this point, you can try to be optimistic and say, look, we're preparing for the potential that there could be 20 inches of rain. We're preparing for the potential that there could be some 50 or 60 mile an hour wind gusts. Nobody wants their kids at school. Who would want their child? I wouldn't want my children at school if there was a potential for major flooding or 60 mile an hour winds or 70 mile an hour winds. So in that regard, I think not having school today in a lot of school districts was justified. Also, I think that a lot of people need to have the day off work to prepare for what might happen tonight or this weekend. I would say always better safe than sorry. Nobody got hurt by over preparing for something. That's what I would say. Now, at the same time, this storm is pretty awful looking. And we don't know if maybe at the last second it takes a slight turn to the right and gets a little closer to us. But I will say that no, it is not going to be a direct hit on Houston. Our main concern, though, is the rain and the fact that it may last for a few days.
John Patrick says nobody's talking about the Jacinto River at all. Can you give us some information? Those of us here are in limbo.
The San Jacinto River? Mm-hmm. Well, what I would say about the San Jacinto River is there's not much to talk about right now. The one concern that I would have is if we had a more substantial storm surge, which we're not expecting. So before Hurricane Ike hit and we had a really big storm surge, it backed up the river early on before the storm hit. And so that was weird. For people living on the east side of Harris County, it actually started backing up. I don't expect that to happen this time. The only impact on the San Jacinto would be if you had a ton of rain north of town and there were problems with Lake Houston. I mean, that's about all I can say right now.
Talking about those upper lakes, are the rain bands going to go up there? Somebody's asking specifically about Lake Livingston, Cleveland, up around that area.
Yeah, I think it might get interesting there later on in the time period, like after the storm makes landfall. We'll have to see what happens maybe Sunday-ish and Monday. If the storm does stall, that's when it might be a little bit more of a concern for flooding for some of the lakes like Livingston. But right now, our main concern is areas to the south. There are people in Matagorda County that it's like a ghost town down there, as really it should be. It's pretty terrible.